You have to push the button to speak, please.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon, council members and administrative team and the distinguished Attorney Everett Moore. It's always a pleasure to stand in front of you all and highlight how we have allocated and spent the resources that the council has provided to us this last fiscal year. And I want to take an opportunity to introduce a colleague, Dr. Corey Whaley, who is our Sussex County Ag Agent, but he also serves as our Sussex County Extension Director. So I've asked Corey to join me today because, as you know, our complex out there is very unique, very diverse. We serve as a Southern Delaware Agriculture Experiment Station for the College of Agriculture and Natural Resources at the University of Delaware. Under that umbrella, we have our cooperative extension, we have our Lasser Laboratory, and we have our research farms, the Thurman Adams Jr. and our Warrington Research Farms, and we have an environmental poultry research house, the Jones Hamilton Environmental Poultry Research House. A lot of activities, as you all are aware. So I wanted to take an opportunity, the $169,049 that the council provides. Every year when I get an opportunity to stand in front of you, always elated to, as a Sussex County born and raised young man, and Corey is as well, we take great pride in making sure that we're good stewards of the council's allocations in grant and aid. What we've been able to do, coupled with significant state funding and support from the Delaware Department of Ag, has really allowed our experiment station to be at the cutting edge, not only just for Delaware, but the region as well as even nationally. So we're doing some great things there. The $62,000, almost $600 that the council provides to support our Sussex Extension programs, they cover our agronomic, our vegetable research we do, fruit research, our 4-H youth development programs, our family health and well-being, and our safety educational programs that we conduct there. The council also provides $23,000 plus to support Sussex field crop research. And why is that important? Because there's a lot of unique challenges that's special to Sussex County. One, I'll give you an example, nematodes, which is a microscopic soil parasite that we have to deal with in soybean production. And it's hard to get funding to be able to address some of these opportunities to manage some of the pests that we're dealing with. Also looking at varieties that are specific to our location, our geographic location as well. And so those funds are a strong support in those areas. Now, the council provides $13,000 plus for our Lasser Laboratory and support of poultry research. I think you all are well aware. Our Lasser Lab serves as a state poultry diagnostic laboratory, which means every poultry farm that goes to processing, not house, but every poultry farm has to undergo testing by our laboratory to be able to go to processing. We are one of 60 National Animal Health Laboratory Network labs, something we're extremely proud of because that requires a rigorous annual testing, verification, or qualifications to be able to conduct the diagnostic testing we do. The other unique thing about our poultry laboratory is we're not only just doing laboratory testing for Delaware and Maryland, but Eastern Shore, Virginia, North Carolina, and as well as some samples from Georgia and Alabama. So our laboratory is really getting known nationally for the quality of diagnostics that we do, and the support that you provide is again critical to that. The greenhouse project that the council has provided funding for. Want to give you an update on that. We are in the midst of, that's our big, if you want to call it, our large capital project that we're working towards. We've got some significant support already from the state of Delaware, from some private philanthropy. So we're really excited about this opportunity, and the great thing that the council does, like you've done in the past, for the Jones Hamilton Poultry House, for the Carville building, your contributions to that shows that state, private industry, private philanthropy, and coordination efforts, and that's always wonderful, right? It shows the partnerships, which is what we're all about. So I want to thank you for that. We're in the midst of our first architecture rendering came out. This price tag was close to about a $10 million, which is huge. So we are back at the table revisiting that on how we can scale that down, but still be able to meet our needs, not only now, but in the next 15 to 20 years. So we've got a team together that's looking at that. So we're actively engaging and things are moving forward on that. So I want to thank you on that. The last thing I want to mention is something that's near and dear to my heart and that you all have been really active on in starting that is our internship program, right? And, you know, I love kids, spent 30 plus years coaching kids and working closely with kids, not only just in high school, but at the collegiate level, and helping them try to navigate what they want to do academically, but what they want to do professionally, where they want to end up career-wise. And, you know, you all started this, and that's something I want you to be really proud of, because in 2014, the council, started the first money for our Sussex County internship program. Since then, we've had 50 interns. Now, they've not all been supported by the council funds, but you started the ball rolling. And we were able to take that, we've worked with private industry, we've worked with the state, we've sent students to Washington, D.C. I mean, it's an unbelievable, I can give you, if you're ever interested, the track record of this. The cool thing that's really unique about this internship program, obviously, is it's got to be a student from Sussex County. And so today I got a video we're going to show you. Carson Mears, who's Rex Mears' grandson, Chip Mears is his son. He was a recipient this year of the internship that you provided, and he got to spend time working with Helena Agri Services, which is in Bridgeville. And he's got a little video here we're going to try to show you. If I can bring this up. Let me bring my glasses in here. There it is.
My name is Carson Mears. I'm from Millsboro, Delaware, and I want to say thank you to all the members of the Sussex County Council for funding my internship at Helena Agri Enterprises. My main role this summer was to be an agronomy scout for the salesman, where I would go around to each and every individual farm and scout for the efficacy of the chemicals, pesticides, nutrients that they were selling to these farmers. And we would also scout for external factors such as nutrient deficiencies, pests, weeds, and almost anything unusual we would see. I would say my most memorable moment was doing a ride-along with a salesman, Rob Eflin. We went down to Wimberley Farms near Pocomoke, Maryland, and he wasn't even there to sell them anything. He was just there to check up on his customer, which I learned in that moment was more than just a customer, it was his friend. It was really neat getting to see that it's more than just a business relationship, it's a friendship, and I really like the idea of that, and I hope to pursue a career in that. So with that being said, I would just like to say thank you again. I have been asked back next year for the internship as well, so hopefully I can continue to do that with your support. Thank you.
He's a lot better looking than his dad.
Yeah,
like Mom.
Yeah. The neat thing about that too, so he did such a great job that he didn't mention this in there, that they want to hire him full time when he's done.
Right.
Which, I think last year or the year before, the council's always asked me, okay, well, we provide this fund, so whatever happens to any of these kids stay, right? They get these work-based learning opportunities. Are they ending up in the county contributing to our taxpaying dollars? Great news. Aaron Dole, who was a recipient last year of yours that did the video here, he's been hired full-time at Helena, and he's going to be working full-time in Bridgeville. So there's your first Sussex County intern that has been hired and going to be contributing taxpaying dollars to the county. And like I say, everything, we could not have expanded this internship program without the council being the leader in getting us rolling. So I want to thank you for that, because that's just an amazing opportunity for our youth and for agriculture. So with that, be happy to entertain any questions that the council may have.
I think this council and previous council have done a lot of good with agriculture, concerned with Ag County. I think that, and we did that first internship, was a monumental move to assist young youth in this county to hopefully learn and stay here in the ag industry. So that's awesome, I think. I'm glad I was part of that from the beginning, and it turned out very well. I have a question, Mr. Jennings, I think. How much money are we into on this greenhouse thing?
This is the last year. It was 2 years.
And it was how much money?
It was 120,000
Yes,
total.
60,000
last year
for
and
2
years.
60 this year. Yes, 120.
But it sounded like your project might be a little more than you thought.
Yes. Well, we knew it was going to be a big ticket item, and it's like the council's done before. We certainly weren't expecting the council to be, funding a huge portion of that. We were just trying to get the support, because what I do now is I go to the state and say, we've got the council support, we've got private philanthropy support. I will tell you, again, as a direct result of the internship, I had a young man that was an intern. Now, he wasn't in Sussex, but he interned with a company this year. They loved him as an intern, and the company says, I want to contribute to Carville. And he says, how can I do that? And I told him about our greenhouse project. And we don't have a check in hand, but this is rolling. And, and again, the cool thing is it started because he had a great intern and said, wow, this is really cool. Because I started about talking about how the council started this, and, we're always looking for funds to support work-based learning opportunities. He said, no, I want to contribute to something capital there. Sure. So, and this is an individual that is not in Sussex County. So, again, it's a great partnership. It's a great collaboration, and I want to thank you all for always being, so supportive of everything we bring to you. And also, knowing, and Corey and I are both, like I said, lifelong residents of Sussex. We're very passionate about making sure that every penny that comes from the council stays in Sussex. Nothing goes north. It's all handled here.
Appreciate that.
And it will continue to be as long as I'm sucking oxygen.
Sure. And we do appreciate that very much. And the relationship we have with you guys out there in the council has been wonderful. And I would think as you move forward with this greenhouse project and you massage all these numbers, if there is a need, now it's easy for me to say this now, I won't be here, but if there is a need, I would hope you would approach council and let them know that you have a need for additional funding. And I would hope that the next council would be recipient of that.
Well, and I appreciate that, and certainly, we will do that. The last thing I wanted to say is I wanted to thank, you, Mike, and you, Cindy, for, your service to the county and all you've done as council members. And, thank you, again, being a Sussex County resident, for everything you've done. And I know this is a very challenging role that each of you serve in, and you can't make everybody happy all the times. I deal with it day to day as well. But thank you for your public service, because
Quick question.
we need that. So.
Mr. Raleigh.
We were at the Conservation District Board meeting last week, and we had discussions about, we were talking about reimbursement for cover crop. And the conversation got off into, there was some question about how many acres of farmland there are in Sussex County at this point. And we had a couple of numbers that were pretty far apart. We weren't exactly sure. And then we had some other numbers that looked like we were about the same as we have been historically, But then there were some others that looked like we've lost quite a bit. And I guess my question is, do you have any sense of, how many acres are still in production in Sussex, and have we lost a lot of ag land?
I'll say something. I'll let Corey chime in on this. We have lost some. I mean, obviously, but that's a national trend as well. And part of the challenge is the agriculture profitability, and that's something that we have to continue to elevate and make sure that we create a culture and an environment that agriculture flourishes, right? And I don't think any of that became as quickly evident until COVID hit, and there was a disruption in food supply, and people started realizing where their food comes from and how they get it, right?
Right.
The ag farmland preservation has been huge in Delaware. I myself have participated in the farmland preservation with my farm.
We have too.
And I think it's wonderful. I think it's a great opportunity to make sure that we got to have agricultural land to be able to keep agriculture the number one industry. And I think everybody on the council knows that, right? We have a lot of people that have moved here since COVID, and I don't think a lot of those individuals realize the number one industry in the state of Delaware is agriculture. It's not tourism, not yet.
Right.
Agriculture, and it's important that we keep that. So we have lost some, but there's other parts of the country that have lost, I think, substantially a lot more acreage. I don't know the exact number. Do you, Corey?
Well, they were going to do some research and try to circle back to us and let us know if we could nail it down to a number.
Yeah.
But to your point about greenhouses, I do think greenhouses are a big part of the future, because there will be continued pressure on the ag acreage available, and so more intense means, for example, the strawberry farm that's projected for over in the Bridgeville area is a good example of what could be in the future, I hope. And it's a way for farms to stay profitable.
Yeah, and the controlled environment, that greenhouse provides an opportunity to do controlled environment more conducive to growing specialty crops like strawberries and things like that, right? We're always going to need the grain for the poultry industry,
Right.
for sure.
Right.
But this creates opportunities.
Right.
And with our proximity to D.C., Baltimore, Philly, New York, I mean, you figure you can get the farthest one's New York 4 hours.
Right.
Well, that's why we're known as being an agricultural hub, because we can get fresh product to those cities.
Right.
And I think that's something that's very unique.
It is.
And especially unique to this county. To have it.
So I could envision a time when farms start to diversify, just as we did once by adding a few chicken houses. We may add a few greenhouses too, and continue to diversify what we're doing.
Yeah, and I appreciate you bringing that up, because that's something that's very important for us as a university. We need to make sure that we're doing the research with this, so we're ahead of the curve, right? Instead of being behind the curve when some of these businesses or our producers decide to go this route. What kind of research have we done? And that's why it's very important to us to get this greenhouse facility built, because we don't have any kind of controlled. That's the one thing we do not have out there. Other than that, we're doing really, really good. But that's the thing that we're lacking, which is.
I think it's a big opportunity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very much so. Yeah. Any other?
Council? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you again so much for all your support.
Thank you.
Thank you.